Peace, tribe, family. It's been a minute. There have been a lot of shifts in my life since I've last done an About Me video. This one has no script to it. This is simply me flowing off of the head, and I don't even plan to edit parts of this video. I want you to see even the moments that I pause. Know me better, know me well. So currently, I can start there. I'm actually at the hospital visiting my baby girl. I recently had a daughter. She is my first daughter, with my partner Camellia here in DC. I am not from DC. I am from North Carolina, Fayetteville, Vietnam. Growing up, I had a nice childhood, I would say. Two-parent household, at least median income or higher. My father was military, so we, before I was born, they had moved around a lot, but got to Fayetteville and decided to settle there. Overall, I would say that, I experienced a healthy childhood growing up, and I was exposed to different experiences and also able to express myself for the most part. My biggest thing, growing up, which I don't believe was directly related with just family, but was confidence. Confidence in myself and my word. Many of you know I used to have a large stuttering problem, and until I really got into yoga, I wasn't able to cure that, and I'll touch more on that later. Another thing that happened in my childhood that was prolific was that in the city where I was from, I was seeing black men as my brother, but also my enemy. When I was, I think maybe even when I was like in middle school, like we had started just fighting. Like I got into like my first, I guess maybe fight in middle school, and it wasn't like some of the fights that I'm gonna tell y'all that have happened that later is like it's just wild, like really bloody and just like damn near leaving for death type of things. But this one was just a regular fight, but definitely that shaped how my journey and my path, knowing that and knowing how much healing we need. So again, childhood is childhood. Even being accountable with who I am and know who I am, the biggest things that I have dealt with in my challenges are really integrating into this world and starting to shed a lot of the layers and thoughts, like when it comes to myself, for one, like who I am, who I can be, with women, not being so misogynistic or patriarchal, not trying to control them, learning what a man does, what a man doesn't do, learning how much effort to exert, learning how much to be passive through it all. That's always been a balance of mine, which again, I think now I can kind of tell, which led me to yoga. I had always been, since a child, somebody who wanted like world peace and a utopia. I didn't know how or what it was gonna look like, but I have always wanted like just world peace for everybody. When I was younger, I wanted to be a businessman, and I wanted to be a businessman because I thought that, okay, by being a businessman, I can go work and I can go make money and I can go do things like feed people and the homeless in my meantime, which is what my dad did. I had a very, I have had and I have currently still, he's alive, he's popping, a wonderful father figure and father in my life. So, and he, instilled a lot of those values by actually bringing us around to do that. So I've always wanted to do more and more of that. As I got older, again, as I said, with all these events and life things I was experiencing, it's starting to harden me and just like make me think that, okay, this other stuff isn't possible and I need to just be business minded. And I started getting really into my business flow during my young 20s, and I saw that I could definitely excel and make great living, everything for marketing and sales. However, being solely in marketing and sales wasn't enough for me, because at the core, I really knew and I felt if I wasn't doing that for like an indigenous, maybe a black owned company that was thus supporting the community, then it didn't feel good enough for me. So, in 2017, that was the last time that that was when I quit. Maybe 2016, when I quit my job working for a solar company. I was doing solar sales and doing fairly well. That year I went to, I believe, Cuba, Greece, I'm not Cuba, Colombia, Greece, and a few others. Was enough to live in Charlotte for what I needed to do. And, again, during that time, about a year or so prior, I had just began my yoga journey. So, yoga is something that I hold very dear to my heart, and it's something that I found through first my coworker slash boss manager at the insurance firm that I was working at in 2014, and after I had a breakup at the end of 2000, near the end of 2014. It just kind of led me there naturally to yoga. So I started going to some of the classes around town. I started to investigate more about what it is, do more readings, and truly start to practice. One way that I have done things very different from most yoga practitioners, what I'm seeing is that the way that I started off with was with meditation and breath, because my biggest thing at the time wasn't just for physicality. I was doing yoga, but I really truly wanted to clear my mind and to heal myself. Like, during that time, there's so many, as any man kind of will be, being born in this world, in this system, just so many like misogynistic, like patriarchal things, and not like on some crazy abusive level, like, no, not even close, but just like how to operate in the world. And even like during this time, these past 10 years now, it's, wow, 2014, but like even seeing my mom, like seeing as a person first, and seeing my parents, right, as people first and then parents, and like just that knowing just helped me so much. So yeah, my yoga journey, again, like I said, began with like true introspection, and through yoga over the years I was actually able to heal my stuttering. So you may hear me get excited and even talk fast sometimes with the words, but overall, when I'm breathing and when I'm in my yoga practice, then I don't tend to stutter as much. And I probably haven't even stuttered much of this conversation, or the conversation with myself, this talk today. But I used to stutter like every other sentence. It was very bad. And what happened was, through yoga, I learned that it was my confidence that was shot, and that's why I stuttered so much. It's not just due to my family, but my family didn't help it out, because they're all very smart and love to talk a lot. So when I was younger, because I was already stuttering beforehand, I would try to get my words out, and I couldn't get my words out or my thoughts to express them. So not being able to express myself clearly, right? It doesn't have anything to do with them so much, but not being able to express my own self clearly made my confidence go down. So that just exacerbated the stuttering. Also, the sugary candy, which I used to love. My parents actually did really well with keeping me away from it, but I used to always, any money I got or earned, I used to go to the store and spend on candy. So shout out to them, like they did a good job. But me, I just used to love candy. Something now that I've changed a lot. I still do like sweets, but of course I'm not eating the white sugar. Because again, when I talk about yoga and the true journey, is that I believe in true health. So even though sometimes it may be difficult to eat healthy and well, it's very vital that we have a flowing, functioning, well body that we can use on Earth. Thus, this is our spaceship, so we can start to elevate more and more, which also leads into boom, boom. Where we at next is that my mission is simple. The actual what it is, getting there, of course, is wow, but I just want to be in a kind, loving, caring, sustainable community where the children are happy and there's not like pedophiles everywhere and on the media and in our businesses. We're all supporting each other. We're growing our own food. We're practicing some type of yoga, martial arts, qigong, ritual, ceremony, whatever it is, something that enlightens and brings the community together. When I was a child, I used to run out and play with my friends all day in the streets, in the forest. Now that's different, and I don't want to keep that a permanent change. I want to get back to neighborhoods and living around other kids and stop with the isolation stuff too. If you have kids, your kids need other kids around them. And as an adult, you'll probably do better if you have people around you. Because as we do begin to move into this new age, you're going to be depending on something. It's either going to be the system or among the people within your community. So it's very, very vital that we have these community connections now. And that's truly my mission, is continuing to create these connections amongst each other, but of course, primarily within self, so that we can expand our knowledge, our mind, our villages, our love, and just acknowledge that there is some type of force out there that wants us to do things a different way, that are also kind of harmful for us overall. This part I'm not going to get too deep into because there's just so many layers of it, but since the beginning of time, there has been this spirit that, if you allow it, just makes things not harmonious with how you want to live or move and with people around you. But I will say, though, on that same note, I 1,000% believe in death, and I support it, and rebirth, because without death, there is no rebirth. Things have to collapse or crumble to be built upon. As far as scientists say, right, the Big Bang was like a explosion of chaos that created things. Chaos and creation go together. However, I do believe that currently in the world, there is more chaos and like fucked up things than there are and I will say this, not like things, but like schools of thought, right? Like these things, these fucked up things are affecting large groups of people and even nature, right? It's not to say that we don't have more nature or more loving moments daily, but yeah, overall, this world is ran by like sick ass, ritualistic, ceremonial, like pedophiles. So we gotta stop playing around like we don't be seeing the stuff on TV. Even when we were younger, I'm 31 years old. Even like when we were younger, we already know that the shows and the stuff was getting crazy. So again, who I am is somebody who's looking to continue practicing yoga for myself and cultivating that within myself, having a loving community and family, and making those the same as much as they can, or separating, whatever must be done, so that we can all build together. We need houses, so I learned how to build houses. We need food, so I learned how to grow my own food. We need mental health, so I learned how to care for my mental health. All things that I do for others are things that I do for myself. Some of my passions and hobbies, I didn't mention that until just now, but you can kind of see what my passions and hobbies are. Like, I love traveling. I'm a traveling yogi. I love spreading this joy and love to wherever I can. With that, everything comes from that. Like, I love adventure. Anything that involves physical activity. I love mental games and like word games. I like good food and cooking good vegan food. I do like fish and I'll do dairy sometimes, but mainly right now I'm plant-based, and plant-based is for me, 90%, fruits and vegetables, maybe 80% fruits and vegetables, then like 10% fish. I'm trying to work that in now. Then the rest of that is not 10% fish, like 15% fish. Then the other 5% is dairy. I don't really do much dairy. And that's because I found that the excess of dairy, especially where you're getting it from, can cause diseases inside of you, not actually heal these things. So especially like inflammation and the increase of mucus, not a good thing. So I just stay away from that because I don't really need the dairy milk as much. But being vegan in the United States, you definitely need to have different supplements or a detailed plan on what you're going to do so that you can make sure that you are meeting all of your needs. That also leads to where we're going. Central or South America is the move next for us. North America has shown us things that are not resonant with where we want to move to. And at the core of this, I want everybody to know it's not running so much as it is the foundation. Being in America, the fruits and veggies are deep. The mineral content of the soil has been depleted. Being that's the case, the plants, the fruits, the vegetables are all getting less nutrition now. Being that they're getting less nutrition, they have less minerals in them. That means that we're getting less minerals per cup, per ounce of these greens we're eating, so we're having to eat even more. Now, when you go to South and Central America, some of the islands, even when I was in Egypt, I like traveling, you find that you are full faster, and the quality of the food just has more of a indigenous ancestral feel if you go to the right place. Because the thing is, even at the big corporations at these places, at the Central American, South American countries, they're still getting their vegetables from farmers within the country, not like some importing vegetables from miles away that's GMO and like countries away. It's crazy. So that's why I eat what I eat, because too many of my family, has had complications with health due to what they eat and to what they consume in general. So I'm making the change. Truthfully, it's not perfect. I'm still finding the perfect way to eat for me. However, I will say that practicing Ayurveda gives you a full scale on who you are and the best practices, including eating, massage, beauty routines for yourself. Ayurveda is the closest thing that I and my mentors that I work with have shown is the most like effective for really balancing out who you are and kind of identifying that to you. So I think I'm done for now. This was again like my first about me video in a long time, and I do hope that through this we can connect higher and on a more intentional level. The tribe of True Clarity, the people who I've brought around me, they're vast. They're doctors and nurses. They're yogis. They're lawyers. They're teachers. They're doulas. They're sexual educators. There are construction workers, permaculturists. We have a squad, and we're looking to build more and more. I know this message isn't going to be for everybody, and that's fine. But again, if you are interested in joining True Clarity and working with us more and working with us deeper, not only as like a business entity, how do I work with you, but truly looking to like build, be accountable with a group of people, then we here. Look, I just stuttered, right? Got excited. Or a group of people. Peace, y'all. I do hope that if my Fayetteville fam is seeing this, that we can like reconnect and y'all can just come and talk to me. Have lots of new things to share, and just know that it's always been personal, not with anybody else, with myself. I've had a lot of healing to do to get to where I'm at, so I'm feeling like I would love to reignite some things and get the ball rolling. So if you're still watching to this point, appreciate you, and I'll talk to you later.